Blessings. Welcome to our healing yoga class. We're holding space for this Tuesdays, 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So blessed you could be here with us. We had a check-in where we're still working on some calf lower leg sensations. So we'll do legs up the wall pose, which looks like an L pose with the body. And if you have the wall space, you can put your pelvis to the wall. We'll show later on. It's great to bring props, blankets, things that help bring the earth below to support your body. I know I'm showing seated things a lot, but make this accessible with chairs or anything you find that makes this practice more accessible to you. We also had a part of our intention, neck and low back focus. So let's ground down for a moment. I love to harmonize. We have such a vast energy for one moment here. Just visualize us all practicing in our beautiful temples and merging as one. Some say that this makes the energy field more powerful as compared to if we were all in, let's just say, my space right here, because we're collecting the energy fields of so many and people who may watch. It's really a powerful practice in that way. So let's just take a look around. We use these spaces, I think, for other things other than yoga and listening inward. So take a look around in the four directions. If you know north, you may start north or east or south or west, and maybe above and below and within and all around the ultimate. So finding a comfortable seated position, just nestling into our communal healing space here. Be aware of the sit bones and see if they're evenly planted to the earth below. You may be favoring one. Find some balance nestling in there. Lengthen through the natural S curve of the spine. It has these little waves and arcs. Reach out through the crown of your head. Let the arm bones on the side of the ribs. And the hands can connect in Anjali Mudra or prayer. So let's just start with Ohms, just because I'm working with a few new folks to my knowledge today. The journey of Om, simply one reflection of this, is it's the vibration of life. And within us, we're looking to access inside, specifically throughout yoga texts, our central column where the chakras radiate, these wheels of energy radiate from. So this mantra helps us to feel and cleanse that channel. And it sounds like you may feel it low at your base, the root. Oh, you may feel in the middle at the heart, and the may tingle the head. That's just one reflection. So let's try 3 ohms or any prayer you'd like to say. Blessings. Thank you so much for honoring the oneness. Let's just find a comfortable side body opener here. Let's take our left arm out to the side. You can let the elbow come down or support with the palm. Press into the opposite hip. Hand can rest on that hip and then extend back behind the ear. Take an inhale and lengthen through the right. Maybe you make a line with the nose tip up and an exhale deepens. Inhale back to center, let the arms go down, other side. Right arm out to the side, left hand to hip, press that hip down. Lengthen left arm back behind the ear. Inhale, maybe gaze up. Exhale, back through center. One more time here. First side A, lengthen as you pull away from the hip. Back to center, take a breath cycle. Use this hour time together to find the breath and be aware of bodily sensations and just observing. Let's take our hands interlaced. You can switch the way your legs are crossed if you're seated here like this with me. And then take our hands from our pelvic floor, our yogic base. Inhale from that pelvic floor and press the palms out center. Exhale back down through neutral center. Inhale, gentle twist from the pelvic floor left and center. Inhale through the nose, fill the lungs. Out to the right, twist. And exhale back through center. Last one here in this set. Inhale out through the front and then all the way up. Stretch, extend. Take an exhale, stimulate your crown space and your third eye. Switch the interlaced. One more set here. Inhale from your navel, from the base, actually, then the navel, and then exhale back down through navel, through base. Inhale, pelvic floor, navel, heart, out to the left, twist, and exhale, center. Inhale, out to the right, and exhale, center. Last one in this set. Inhale through the front, all the way up. Extend, lift your heart subtly, and then stimulate crown, third eye, psychic awareness, exhale. Go ahead and let's lower down onto our backs. So we'll flex the feet or the knees and press down through the feet, arms alongside of you, lower your front and back body down. Take the hands on the low belly and the heart and take a few deep breaths into the body, feeling the hands rise and fall. Inhale to expand the ribs and the chest. Exhale, let it all go out through the nose. Let's take our knees and our feet wide. The arms can go wide and take up some space. Wide windshield wipers, letting the knees go side to side. And making our way back to a center, let's take our legs together and we'll take our arms cactus. So making a 90-degree about angle, or you can let the feet hang down further. 90-degree maybe with the legs. Cactus arms. Inhale, take the knees to the left and press the right palm down. Now I'm coming up just for talking. There's going to be some movements of the arms. Know that we will do both directions, so it really doesn't matter which way you start if it gets too wordy in a moment. So just go with this basic outline and we'll do both ways. I promise it won't matter really. So knees to the left, right palm down. Take an inhale and exhale. Inhale, engage your legs and your pelvic floor back through center, switch the palms and knees to the right. So now left palm is down, right palm is up. So feel free to go through this with your leg and core engagement, side to side, switching the way the arms are. Inhale and exhale, follow your own rhythm. Maybe you're doing an inhale with each movement, or you're taking a full breath cycle on each side. Following the breath rhythm, let's get back to that side A with the legs onto the left side and switch the way the palms are. So if the right palm's down, right palm comes up and left palm down. Again, just switch what you had. Inhale, bring the knees back through center, switch those palms. This is helping to rewrite shoulders and neck movement, coming from the strength of the legs and the core. Take a few more rounds here, following your breath. Begin to come back through center. Give yourself a loving hug into the heart with the knees. Maybe you rock side to side. It's always welcome to let out sighs or audible exhales, and then make your way back to breathing in and out through the nose, just to observe the breath. Take the right leg long, left leg hugs in. Inhale, maybe you hover the leg or support it by the earth. Exhale, big release of the breath, hug knee in, and then knee goes over to the side for a twist. Take a breath cycle, maybe the gaze opposite the knee. Inhale through center, hug those knees in, loving affirmation. I am whole. I am connected. Any positive affirmation. Hug the right knee in, extend the left, big exhale. Settling in the body, supported by the earth. And then when you're ready, inhale to a twist, right leg left. Maybe you gaze opposite direction. Inhale, make your way back through center. Hug those knees in again, and maybe they go wide to the arm creases, spreading the knees if that feels available. And you can still sway side to side. Notice any observations in the pelvis and the low back here. Go ahead and plant those feet. Press down through the feet, the legs tone, so you can bring the knees together isometrically without moving them. It's more of this subtle engagement, shifting the legs to be engaged into the pelvic bowl. And then feel your pelvic floor, the area between the sit bones and the thighs, and engage that area upwards towards the heart. The navel goes down towards the spine and then towards the heart, and the chin towards the heart. Those 3 points in our yoga are for our true core. They're really abdominal engagements, but they are defined differently and a little more precise in yoga. So the arms come to maybe robot or alongside of you or on the body. See what feels right for you. Bridge pose, use the legs and the bandhas, those engagements of pelvic floor, navel, and throat lock. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. I know it's a lot of words, but now we'll get into our rhythm. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. It's important to note that the shoulders are just planted flat and you're lowering with the breath. The neck has no weight and the back of the head is just supporting itself. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Let's do an extra slow lowering, awareness of the back body. Inhale to bridge. Exhale, slowly lower the heart, the back, the ribs, the low back, the pelvis. Inhale to lift. Go with your own rhythm. Lower the heart, the ribs, low back, the pelvis. Inhale. And exhale, heart, ribs, low back, pelvis. Wide arms, take up some space, take some wide windshield wipers side to side. One of my favorite poses, if you're feeling low back sensations, is to bring the knees in and the feet wide, just stabilizes the low back. So let's do some movements of these important areas that we talked about, our core. We're going to use them throughout the whole practice. And it's great to have them started out here because we're supported by the earth. So feel yourself just melting like an ice cube on a hot summer day to the earth below. Each crevice supported. And what we'll notice is that pelvic floor inhales, tilts the belly up, low back deepens curve. Exhale, flattens low back, the tailbone comes up. So just rocking the pelvis a few times with the breath. Inhales and exhales to lift gently. And once you're comfortable with that, we'll move on to the ribs. The pelvic floor is our true base. That's why it's really important to build that foundation before we take off anywhere else. So now you can interlace the hands back behind the head, supporting just the head, and we'll inhale, feel the low ribs press down, the chest rises, exhale, release. You'll feel the core catch. The low back ribs have a lot of important things. One of them is that navel lock that we talked about, but also the diaphragm and the psoas muscle. These are areas, these are muscles of the body that help us with breath and with balance and keeping us really as one unit together. So you're inhaling to feel the low ribs down, exhaling to release. Let those arms go out to the side. Arms now at an 8 or out in front of you up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing down through the feet. Inhale, lift the arms and the arm bones up and over. Notice nice rotation of the arms in the shoulders. Exhales to lower. And I'd like for you to notice the pelvic bowl, the ribs, and the skull as you move the arm bones in space. Nice and mindfully with the breath. Notice how the pelvic bowl, the ribs, and the head are aligned by the support and the comfort of the earth. See if we can find this alignment when we come to stand and through movement. Okay, so we're gonna come on up now. You can rock and roll. I love this, but I don't know if it feels good for everyone. This kind of rocking on the spine. If not, shift to the side and find a nice, loving, gentle way to come on up. We're gonna come up standing. So I'm a big offer of movement. Obviously, we're doing that in our practice, but in feeling the movement everywhere. Yoga tends to be a little more disciplined and kind of structured. It's great for that discipline, but I invite you to keep feeling, even if you're standing still, reflecting, feel the pulse of the heart, the circulation of the breath in the blood. So feet underneath the hips, lift through your arches, lift the kneecaps, and take that lift through the legs and the pelvis. You'll tone all sides of the thighs and the glutes. And we really want to start from those roots. We were talking about pelvic floor. Now the legs are just a manifestation of the pelvic floor. So from the feet to the pelvis, nicely toned, thumbs out. Feel your heart lift. Any of your own motivations or goals for practice for your week. We have a new moon this Friday, always exciting. Any of your goals, go ahead and say them out loud or in your head. Inhale, reach on up for them, visualize the light and pull it down through center. Okay, 2 more, full stretch, really take up some space. Inhale and pull this light, this guidance down through neutral center. And then again, inhale, down through center. So before we find some more movement, let's do more of like an energy, Tai Chi-like practice. Take your feet, what's wide, what feels comfortable for a gentle squat stance. So maybe wider than the hips. And we'll squat down, collect and gather the earth, bring it up through center line. Bring it up to connect to the sun, the light. And then collect that light and pull it down to meet the earth. And this is happening within you and around you. Scooping it up. Go nice and subtle so that you feel any sensation on the skin. We're looking for maybe hot, cold, wet, or dry sensations. Collect the sun down through center, towards the earth, scoop up some foundation, some structure, some minerals, and then connect that up to the light and reach back up to the light, to the source, pull it down to meet at your inner source. Connect it to the earth. I almost forgot. We want to end it with connecting to the earth. Okay, this is one of my favorite little movements. Try coat hanger arms. The arms are just freely hanging out along the ribs, sliding. Keep the structure in your legs and your pelvis. Come back to a mountain or Tadasana. Thumbs spiral back, feel the lift in the collarbones. Inhale, reach up. Maybe you reverse the palms and then pour over right. Stretch from the right hip, the left hip to the left ribs. Inhale, center, lengthen from the feet to your head. Try not to overextend through the hands, and then pour over to the left. Now stretch on the right. Notice the breath guiding you. Inhale, switch the palms. First side A to the right. Inhale back through center, side B to the left. And back through center. Take the feet as wide as feels good for a fold. Interlace the hands back behind you. Bend those knees. Lengthen through the top of the head all the way down. If the arms don't feel good interlaced, just let them hang down towards the earth, or prayer hands back behind the head. And I'd just like to say, for anybody new or following in the video, for speaking purposes, I'm not always doing what I'm saying. So sorry if that's confusing in any way. I just know when I do it all, I'm not always heard, and that's not cool. So I need to be heard as the guide. Okay, sorry, tangent. Okay, release. Hands to your pelvis. Be aware of the pelvic floor. Reach out through the head, all the way up, come to standing. Manifest the arms from the heart. Reach your heart up by pressing the shoulder blades together and lifting from the back body. The hips press forward. And then cactus the slide, the arms down the back body. Okay. So let's try a chair pose. I'm feeling one fire breath. If you're too fiery or if it's too hot where you are right now, observe quieter breaths. You don't have to do the forceful bellows breath. If you'd like to try Bhastrika, we find a chair pose, feet are under the hips, sink the sit bones back, weight to the heels, feel your pelvic bowl, ribs and skull aligned in a diagonal. And then we have our fists of fire, our H arms, inhale and exhale towards the hips. Do a few that feel good. You may need a tissue, and then slowly use your endurance and strength from the legs to come back to standing to a mountain. Just observing the breath. So let's try one more chair pose, and we'll do a twist this time. Sink your sit bones back into the heels. Have your right arm to outer knee, left arm to the pelvis. From your pelvic floor to your heart, twist to the left. Let the gaze and head just follow the heart. Big exhale. Maybe you come back through center. You can stand up or stay seated. Twist the opposite way. Pelvic floor to heart right. Inhale. Big exhale. Back through center, strong legs and pelvic floor. So standing in a mountain. Observe the breath filling the chest, inhaling to expand the ribs. Exhaling, releasing. These are our Ujjayi ocean breaths. Slow and steady. Always feel free to tap into these breaths. This is the only yogic breath to do all day if you want it. It's so calming and fills the tissues and the cells with so much fresh oxygen. Okay, I was trying to think of our next step here. We have head and neck. Let's do our arms out to a T and curl the fingertips back. External rotations of the arm bones. Stay rooted in the legs through the pelvis. And then bend the elbows towards your hips. So you're kind of like fluttering like this flying butterfly. Maybe anything you visualize, a dragonfly, a bird. I love working on imagery and visualizations in the psychic space. So go ahead. And then find a point that feels good for you. The elbows are about engaging the side body. You'll feel these muscles along the ribs hug in. And then look towards the left. Press out through the right palm, fingers back towards you, and feel a nice stretch through the right. Back through center. Find your position, whether it's teed arms or bent. Rotate to the right. Push out through the left palm and feel a nice stretch. Head back through center. Hands to hips. Look back behind you, coming from the pelvic floor. And then let it radiate up the front body as you twist back, like you're looking at a friend back behind you. Heyo, blessings, whatever you'd say to greet them. How are you today? Okay, I know I'm really goofy, but hopefully you can at least giggle. Laughter yoga is definitely a thing. And if we think about where the smile originates, the back palate, this is where the Ujjayi breath originates. Those slow, we contract the area where our back mouth meets the upper neck. And this slows down the breath to the lungs. Go ahead and take those arms back behind you to the elbows. And again, just look back behind you, side to side, maybe just 2 times each way. And then inhale, arms up to an H. I have to watch my fan here. Arms up to an H. And then right arm forward, left arm back. Find some movement here. This is great for the brain and the shoulders. You can bend the knees to help with the movement and body mechanics. Have this feel fluid. We want to find our own edge and then pause before passing. Get to the center and switch sides. Left arm forward, right arm back. Notice the breath. Maybe you're doing Ujjayi breaths, filling and expanding. Okay, let's do a little sequence, a little flow sequence. So I'm going to show from the side. Feet strong, lift through the knees, through the pelvis, mountain pose. Inhale, circle sweep up. Press the heart up. Exhale, bend the knees, big fold down through center. The legs stay engaged so that the upper body can pour out of the pelvic bowl all the way to the head and hands. Inhale, hands can maybe meet on the legs somewhere. Find that you're lengthening through the tailbone and out through the crown of your head. Exhale, let it go. Bend the knees so that the low belly is supported on the thighs. Inhale, pulse up like it's a half lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, let it go. Hands to hips, reach out through the top of your head, the chin tucks towards heart, lengthen all the way up. Let the hands manifest your heart all the way up and down through center. Let's do that again. Mountain, inhale, circle, press the hips and lift the heart. Exhale, dive down, like you're moving through water. Inhalation, lengthen, half lifting. Exhale, let it go. Inhale all the way up. Lift your heart. Exhale down through center. One more. Mountain. Inhale. Lift your heart to the sun. Pull the sun down through you as you fold. Inhalation, lengthen from your tail to your head. Hug the front body to the back body. Let it go. Hands to hips, feel the pelvic floor in the navel. The chin follows heart as you rise up. Let the hands radiate your heart. Compassion, forgiveness, and pull these divine qualities down through you. They're already there. It's just a reminder that they're there to the brain. So let's begin to, I'm thinking, let's do one movement practice, a warrior two, and then we'll come on down, belly down. So find yourself at the top of your space. Let's just let this very mindfully, the right leg fly back to a warrior two. And you'll root down through the outer ridge of your back foot, front knee over ankle. Hands to pelvis, notice the opening rotation in the hip. Pull the outer left knee in, out towards your fifth toe, and then in towards the hip joint. Hands on pelvis, notice the pelvic floor. We call it elevator rising. The navel lock, drawstring, like a Scrubs string tie, and then zip them up to meet at the heart. Chin towards heart. These are all bridging at the heart. And then hands to heart, radiated out. Focus over the front fingers. Ujjayi breaths. So here's our little flow movement that feels good, hopefully. On the exhales, aware of the bandhas, and we move stances. So inhale here, exhale, reverse. The right arm goes to low back, maybe the left arm lengthens, the legs stay the same. Inhale here, and then exhale, side angle. We are supporting the arm on the thigh, not collapsing, and hand can stay on the hip or extend behind the ear. You inhale and move on the exhale, perhaps. Find your own flow. Strong legs and bandhas align as you move through these diagonal movements. Keep pelvic floor, ribs, and skull as one. Once you've completed a few sets, you can meet back in a warrior two. Check in with those strong legs. Lift through the arches of your feet. And then toes are going to come in towards one another for a moment. And just gently point them out, knees out. Let's try our squat pose. Bend the knees over the ankles. Pelvic floor hangs between abdomen and thighs. And then pull that pelvic floor up, the navel, elevator, drawstring, zip them, chin towards heart, arms reflect the legs, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Switch, inhale, just switching the arms. It doesn't matter which one, we'll do both. Inhale, and exhale. Go ahead and switch the arms. Inhale. I guess it doesn't really matter here because we're only moving the legs. We're not moving the legs. So there we are. I'm getting lost in that. But this really helps retrain our movement over time. And then come on back up to standing, star pose. Connect to the ultimate down through center. Warrior two with the left leg, the right leg leading the way. Notice the rotated hips here out to the side. Hands to pelvis and feel the elevator pelvic floor rising. The drawstring navel engagement meeting at the heart. Radiate it out. Focus over the front fingertips. Feel your strength in your warrior. Here's our movement with flow here. Inhale to your reversed. Left arm to low back, right arm maybe extends. Exhales movement and core bandhas, pelvic floor, navel, and throat. Inhale and exhale. Go at your own rhythm. You can just do one and hold. You don't have to pulse with the breath. It's really always your practice. This is just an offering. Any way you find a way into your own body sensations is most welcome. And we'll meet back at a warrior two. Rotate the feet together, a wide-legged fold. Keep the legs 3 to 4 feet apart. Hands to the pelvis, bend those knees. Reach out through the top of your head. Let it go. Hands can go to elbows, back of the head, or extend up towards the ceiling or sky. Audible exhale. Go ahead and lower yourself onto the earth. So if you can bend the knees, let the legs take over more of the work. Try not to dump it in the arms. And we'll lower ourselves down onto our bellies. Tee out the right arm. Press ourselves up onto our right side. Let the head go. We're opening. I'm going to show what it looks like seated. We're opening where right arm meets the trunk, the chest. A very vital force for nerves, blood, and circulation. We have vein, artery, and a nerve here. Be very gentle as we open. Let the head fall. Let the chin and jaw relax. The tongue relax. Come back through center. Remember, you can always pause somewhere that feels good. Just coming to the breath throughout this practice is what we're holding space for. And then taking the arm underneath you. Left arm extends, one-armed hug down with the forehead. Now we're opening the back right arm where it meets the shoulder blade. Inhale, unwind and extend. Go ahead and take that right arm, the same arm we've been working with, long length of the body, and press your head onto it. Let the left arm go to the low back, and I'm going to show seated. It can look like this, or maybe the upper right arm connects. I know this might not be available to everyone, but some form of that maybe, or you can use a prop or a shirt or anything to grip to, and then lower back with your heart and face up in a supine position. So you're laying back on the left arm, maybe right arm. Go ahead and unwind, extend the right arm, roll back onto your side, back onto your belly, cactus, forehead down, maybe crisscross the legs. Right arm out to the side. We'll do that sequence on the other side. Press into your left side body. You can kickstand the right limbs to help support this pose. Soften to the earth like you're melting. Back down through center. Extend the right arm, left arm threads underneath, one-armed hug. Now we're opening the back left shoulder. Forehead down. Inhale back through center. Extend the left arm out. Right arm floats to low back. Here's that other side now. Maybe you lay back on the arm system if they connect, or at least laying back on the right arm near the low back. Keep lifting the chest and opening the heart field. Begin to release that pose. Bend your knees. Have your left arm clamp underneath the right leg. I'm sorry, the left leg. I don't know why I'm doing that. And this is to help us with the core engagement. So use that to bring yourself up to seated. You'll feel the pelvic floor, the navel, and the head in alignment as you kind of extend the legs. This little lever you've created helps bring your upper body up. And we have a few minutes left. Let's do our neck sequence I know we've been liking. So we'll take our interlaced hands back behind our head. Inhale, open up, gently extending, lifting the heart. Exhale, close the elbows, breathe into the back of the neck. Inhale, open up, soften the jaw. Lift your heart. Exhale, close. Inhale, open, pulsing with the breath. Exhale, release. Take the left arm back behind you, gentle clamp. Pull the right arm clamps the left and pull our head away from the left arm. Make some rotations with the nose tip. And melt. Come back through center. We have nice structure in the spine to support. We're really letting the head, neck melt. Clamp the other side. Right arm to low back. Inhale. Exhale, pull the head away from the clamped arm. Maybe some rotations with your nose tip. Find your sensation and pause before passing the edge. So I want to get in legs up the wall, and we have a few minutes left. You're welcome to stay here working on the neck if that is more of a practice for you. Otherwise, I'm going to show legs up the wall. Bringing your pelvis as close as it feels good towards the wall surface. For some, it may be a pretty big, or it may be a wider space from pelvis to wall. And then others may get right up on the wall. This can be your Shavasana, or you can just find yourself in a Shavasana, limbs out, resting. Notice the breath in the body and see if you can let yourself ride the wave of the breath from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Loving kindness, loving kindness, loving kindness merits to all. Feeling connected to the divine qualities of the heart, compassion, forgiveness, unconditional love and kindness, and radiating that out through the fingers and the toes. If you have more time to offer reflection practice, you can stay right where you are. For the purposes of closing out this class, we'll begin to shift, but tune me out if you're staying. And you can come to a seated position if you'd like, or any position. And I like to, just as we started this kind of following this wheel, we end with prayer. So let's just think of things we are grateful and thankful for. Hands can come to the heart. And 3 breath cycles honoring things you offer gratitude and thankfulness towards. Blessings. Thank you so much for your energy. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for practicing. Take care.